I'm here with my friend Tammy. She's going to portray being John's mom. John is a 3-year-old, and she is portraying that she is asked to meet with me about a concern regarding John's behavior. Hi, Tammy. I'm so glad that you came to me and have asked to meet to discuss some concerns that you have in regards to John.
Yes, thank you for meeting with me at such short notice.
Oh, anytime. That's what I'm here for. Your input and involvement are important to me and John's progress in the classroom. So what concerns do you have that I can try to help with?
Well, John has been really aggressive lately, and I've noticed at times that he's doing the same things here as he's doing at home. I don't want him to be a bully and end up without friends and possibly hurting someone.
I can see how aggression would be a concern. Can you please tell me what he's doing that is aggressive?
He's biting himself, and when he gets mad, he hits and kicks. He's doing it at home with me and his dad, and I saw him doing it the other day when I came to pick up. He ended up putting a child in tears, and I felt so bad. I don't want my child to hurt others. I know you must be seeing this behavior, and I don't want teachers to think of him as a bad child too.
Tammy, I understand how you're feeling, and I'm glad that you have shared this with me. The behavior that you have shared with me can be an overwhelming and sometimes a scary experience. Please know that we will not label your child or any other child. We are here to help them and to find ways and possible services that can help intervene so that a child is able to continue growing and learning. Now, just to clarify and make sure that we're on the same understanding, you're concerned for John's behavior. You said that he's been hitting, biting, and kicking, and these actions are affecting him as well as others around him. Is that correct?
Yes, it's sad but true.
Okay, well, let's see what we can do together to find some possible solutions and ways that we can help John during these times. Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. How often would you say that John is experiencing these behaviors?
All the time, each and every day, throughout the day.
Okay, so every day he's doing this. Are there specific times during the day when this is occurring, maybe in the morning or before bed?
Oh, it's whenever I ask him to do something.
Okay, so when you're asking him to do something, he will experience an aggressive behavior towards you or others?
Yes, I start off by asking him to help me do something. He then refuses, and he ends up hitting, smacking, or kicking me, or someone else. If I walk away, he starts biting himself.
Okay, can you give me a specific example of this?
This morning I asked him to get his shoes on so we could head out to school. He ignored me at first, and then when I asked him again, he started yelling. I asked him a third time. He started kicking his feet. I went and grabbed his shoes and started putting them on his feet, and he began kicking me. I smacked him, and he started biting himself.
Okay, now what was he doing when you asked him to get his shoes?
Watching TV.
Okay, so now when he is being given the change in activity, is that when you're noticing this aggressive behavior?
Yeah.
Do you ask him as a question?
Oh, yes. I will say, can you, or will you please?
Okay, thank you for being patient and answering my questions. This has been really helpful for me. I can honestly say that I have not witnessed John expressing these actions or experiences here in the classroom that you have described happening at home. The experiences that I have noticed have occurred where he gets upset when his toy is being taken away from another child, or by another child, or when he has to stop an activity and transition to another activity. Now, this is all part of the growing and learning that a 3-year-old experiences. I have worked with John to create a transition adjustment to help alleviate the stress from change in the classroom. If you would like, I can share with you this to try at home. It sounds like he's experiencing these same stresses with transitions, which are causing him to experience the moments of biting, kicking, and hitting that you are seeing.
Yeah, he hates it when I pick him up to leave, and that's when he starts hitting other children.
Okay, well, let me share this with you if that's okay.
Oh, please, anything right now. I'm at my wit's end, and I hate spanking him when he gets like that.
Okay, thank you. Before a transition, I will give John a 5-minute reminder. During that time, I will say something like, hey, John, we're going to clean up in 5 minutes. And then head over to group. I do this before each change in activity. Then when the transition comes, I will give John 2 options. Like you, I will ask him to do something, but both options are still related to the transition. So, for example, let me share with you. I will say, would you like to clean up the blocks or the books? And then you choose. And then I will allow him to choose which one he wants to do. For your example of putting the shoes on, you could ask, would you like to put your shoes on by the door or on the couch? This way he knows that it's time for shoes. If he still doesn't get his shoes, then you could say, okay, I will choose, and today we will put your shoes on by the door. The biggest thing that we need to do for John is to be consistent. Once we give him an option, we need to follow through so that he knows that his choice will still happen even if he doesn't want it to. Now, when you come to pick up, it's going to be a little bit different and somewhat of a challenge since we don't know when 5 minutes is before you arrive. Perhaps what we could do is when you pick up, you can leave signing him out on the computer for after you pick him up, and then you can offer him the choice of clicking the computer mouse or punching in his number in the computer and help as he helps sign his own self out. He does love helping with the computers in the classroom.
Oh, I see. I think I can do that.
Great. I know 5-minute reminders can be hard, especially when you are trying to help his sister as well as yourself get out the door. The idea is consistency. If it helps, sometimes setting a timer for 5 minutes helps when things get busy. Then when John hears the timer go off, he will know that his time is up as well. Would you like to try this for the next week and see how this goes?
You say that works here?
Yes, it does, and it has been helping. And when I provide 2 choices, most of the time John picks one and will do it by himself. If he begins to refuse, then I just remind him that I can help. If he gets upset, I provide a quiet area where he can calm down, and then when he's calm, we go back to the choice that I offered in the beginning.
Oh, that sounds so much better than the idea of me spanking him. Thank you. I hated myself and for feeling like a bad mom and with a bad child.
Oh, you're not a bad mom, Tammy, and you're not alone in experiencing these feelings. The age of 3 can be challenging. Children at this age are learning that they get to make choices, and they want to make these choices and be independent. As we let John feel like he's making the decision and the choices and options that we want him to, we will start to see that he's following through and doing it with little to no resistance. Again, some resistance will be normal due to the age and circumstances. In trainings with my classroom staff, I like to remind them that when children are asked to do something, they feel like it's a choice, and they will often say no or ignore the question completely. When I provide 2 choices, it's still a choice that they get to make, but it's not an option to say no and to not do something.
Oh, right. I didn't think of it like that. Wow, this has been so helpful.
Oh, good. I'm so glad this has offered some ideas for you. So, would you like to try this for, let's say, the next week? And next Friday, we can briefly chat about how things are working for you?
Sure, that would be great.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I will send a list of some of the options and choices that I have found helpful as ways that I redirect John. Would it be okay if I email them to you as well as put a copy in your parent folder?
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you. Do you have any other questions or concerns at this time?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Okay, thank you, Tammy, so much for coming to me and for sharing your concerns. I'm glad that we could come up with a plan, and I can't wait to hear how this works for John and for you. Please feel free to contact me if you have any other questions or if you would like some additional ideas on helping John with redirection.